Who do we blame for Damian Lillard's 50? Gotta blame somebody, right? That's just the way society works. You see a prominent analytics account on Twitter already with the implied, whose fault is it? Looks like Russell Westbrook gave up the most points. Schroeder wasn't very good either. We got these ridiculous effective field goal percentages. I'm going to show you why in this video. There's a bunch of nonsense, to be perfectly honest with you. As I've said, if you've watched my videos before, defense is not a one-on-one job. It's not about one guy. It's about five guys being on a string, rotating, being locked in together. It's never a one-on-one battle. There's a lot more to it. If you look at a chart like this, you'd be misled into believing it's just about the guy who starts the possession on him or the point guard on him. Never on the big man, never on the coverage, never on a scheme, never just on a player being really darn good. Either way, you see, this accounts for all 50 of his points, and I'm going to show you why I think it's ridiculous even to try to assign a number to a particular defender in Dame's 50 points. But let's take a look at the video. Let's go through all his points in the game. You see Russ is guarding him on this possession to start. Oak City did a really good job. They switched Adams off of Canner so that they could switch any pick and rolls with Canner. Portland still occasionally found a way to put Canner in the pick and roll, though, by having a guy like Harkless set it, where he's a little bit slower defender, not as good at preventing Dame to get to the basket. And yes, we did somehow account for every free throw in that point graphic you just saw, even though whether it goes in or not, obviously, is completely random and has nothing to do with the defender. Dame went 6 of 8 from the free throw line, but still, we decided to divide those 6 points. I don't know who this even goes against here. I imagine Russ and not Adams, since Adams hardly ever showed up. But it's on the pick and roll coverage, really, just being able to get by the slower Steven Adams and get fouled. This possession, Russ does a pretty good job trying to contain Dame, but he's just too darn good. Paul George should be a little bit lower, maybe in the gap right here. But with the rules, remember, on the perimeter, you can't touch this guy out here. You can't touch him. So the best Russ can do is try to stay square, try to stay in the stance. He opens up a little too much to give Lillard his left. And Dame's able to hit an absurd shot. I mean, look at this shot. We talk about mid-range is dead. We don't love mid-range jumpers. This is a fading away, one-legged over Grant. Just an absurd shot. Blame that on Dame. Look at this one. There's a pick and roll again against Adams. Dame thinks he's getting fouled, so he tries to rip through and just draw the free throws. Russ doesn't foul him, though. Dame still is able to hang in the air and hit this shot. Who do you blame for that? Nobody. Come on. It's a nobody shot. Here they switch Ferguson onto him. Ferguson there. You see him touching him on the perimeter. Dame's one of the best whenever he feels this contact right here, which is illegal. He rises up. 2 free throws. Ferguson's on him again here. Playing good defense. They're icing the pick and roll. Trying to force him to go baseline, so Dame just steps back, hits that 3 from the corner. That's on nobody. Grant switches onto him here. Nobody. An obscene step back. An obscene move. Another mid-range jumper. They run the double drag here. Damian twists off, splits it, goes right off the first screen. Rises up right in Grant's face. There's nothing you can do. That's as good as you can play it defensively. Schroeder's up and into the ball. The ability to rise up off these pick and rolls from that deep on a dime. The balance, just amazing. Russ on him here. Again, he touched him, so it's a foul. I don't know what you want him to do. But Dame's great at sensing that contact and gets to the free throw line again. This one here, Schroeder was guarding him on the perimeter. Fell asleep. Dame doesn't stop hustling. Gets the offensive rebound and the putback. Schroeder on him again here. They're trying to ice the pick and roll. You see Morris calling out ice, and he's down there. But they don't quite get it iced. Schroeder doesn't keep it over there. He's able to come off the screen, and Morris is a little bit too slow getting out. But still, an absurd shot. But blame that on the coverage. They were supposed to have that iced. This one, blame on good coaching. Terry Stotts, I believe, dialed this up. This is a play they get the back door on sometimes. If not, it's a handoff to Dame. So Russ is worried about defending the handoff and trying to chase him off these two screens coming up from these big men. Instead, he overplays a little bit. Dame goes backdoor. Great play diagram. You give up one backdoor layup to Dame in the game, you got to live with that. Man, I mean, I know they say, yeah, it's a good shot for Dame. It is, because he makes them. He's a good 4 or 5 feet behind the line, and Paul George is right there on the catch, and he's got the hand up. How can you blame anybody for that? We got Schroeder's turn again, trying to do his best to corral him on the perimeter. But again, with hand checking rules today, you can't really touch him. So eventually he's able to get to the rim, or Grant steps up, and just look at this finish. Show the ball, duck it under, the spin off the glass. Unbelievable. Schroeder worked so hard all possession to deny him. This is the second three hit like this, where he thought he was getting fouled. So he just put it up there. It goes in. The touch is amazing. Russ switches onto him here. He's gotten beat left before, so this time he opens up a little bit too much to the right. Schroeder should be there in the gap since he's guarding Aminu down in the stands. He's not where he's supposed to be. Russ again is competing. He's low in his stance, but when you can't touch the guy, his handle's so damn good, he can get wherever he wants. Goes up into the crowd against Adams, takes the contact. Unbelievable finish. Just unbelievable. Start the second half. Paul George switches on the dribble handoff. There's 7 on the shot clock. You know Dame's got enough time to go by him, so he's back a little bit, worried about the drive. Dame's going to take this handoff and pull up. This was like a shot at the end of the game. This is 37 feet. What can you do? The answer is nothing. Somehow we assign blame on this, again, which was Terrence Ferguson making a bad pass and Russ almost getting a steal and instead fouling Dame, but we're going to blame that, I'm sure, on him, too, for 2 points. Just ridiculous to try to assign that blame. This one, Terry Stotts, you look at him, he's trying to call out a play. He's calling what he wants. Dame just goes off a step up, gets Grant switched on him again, step back going left, well contested, pretty well defended for a guy who's a little bit slower. You can't blame anybody for that. It's amazing. Come on. Same thing. Look at this. Schroeder's doing a good a job as he can. He goes away from the screen here. Schroeder's in a stance. The little step back. Contested. We got Schroeder again. Trying to contain him as well as you can without touching him. He's down and low. Dame, though, hesitates just for a second. Blows by. Help comes over. Look at Paul George. Look at Grant. Everybody's there. The degree of difficulty on this finish. That's outrageous. Just an unbelievable finish. Unreal. And then, of course, this one. You see Paul George. He looks up at the clock. 4 seconds left. Okay. He's taking a long time. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm going to press up on him. He doesn't have enough time to go by me anymore. Is he just trying to shoot it from right here? I'm up. 2.5 seconds. I'm up as tight as I think I can be. I'm going to go to the side step, going right, which I don't use nearly as much and haven't even used in this game yet. I'm going to get a good contest. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Who do we blame? Okay, you need somebody to blame. Blame this guy. Phil Beckner, college assistant coach, his player development guy, works with Dame all the time, late night workouts. Dame gave him credit for working out in Oakland with him. Blame him. Or you know what? Maybe just blame the guy who put in the hundreds of thousands of hours in the gym, working relentlessly so that he could beat any defense. Doesn't matter who the defender was, what the coverage was. Dame was unbelievable. Who do we blame Dame for? Like I said, blame Phil, blame Dame. We don't need to assign blame to a single person on the Thunder. They defended him as well as they could. He's a superstar for a reason. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow on Twitter at ScoutWithBryan. Hit the thumb up. Hit the subscribe. And if you really enjoyed it, patreon.com/ScoutWithBryan for even $1 a month. You can help support this content. I would really, really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.